Hi, hi, hi. Heidi, hi. Heidi-o. Now you say something. And that's how the intro goes. Am I right, folks?
That's how the podcast goes. Right, I've said something, now you say something. That's it. Well, that's just every podcast, really.
Yeah, I'm glad we started this with an explanation of what podcasts are. Good.
So, in case you weren't familiar with the concept of what a podcast is, essentially Jake will say something, and then I in turn will respond with something else.
Nice. Good news, everyone. Today is the first podcast in a long time that my room is tidy for once. Not that you can see it. I've purposely made sure that the angle of the camera when we record this podcast is always away from my room. It's always like facing the wall that I'm sat next to, so that nobody can see the shite everywhere. But today there isn't any. It's a good one. It's a good one today. There's coming up on today's podcast. We have our regular debates that we do, or I tell Judd why he's wrong, and not only that. I gave our dad, because we have the same dad, a survey to fill in. A survey about us, full of stupid shit. So we've got the answers to that to go through. That should be a fun one. Nice. But before that, I've got something important to address. Obviously, it's not actually important, because when the fuck do we ever do anything like that here? And what it is Judd's camera looks like he is just complete. It's half of its whiteness. It's all just the way Judd's put his light. The way Judd's put his light is that it's. I don't know if Judd knows how to use lights. You're literally doing the exact opposite of what you should be doing with it. What you need, Judd, the light to shine at you, not the background. Or you can bounce it off the wall that you're looking at, and then your face will be lit. Because currently, the way Judd had his camera it was literally pointing at like a light wall behind him, and it just made all we could see was a wall of light behind him, and then Judd like in blackness.
What? Damn it!
That was like the whole thing. That's way better. That's much better. But that wasn't actually what. I want to say, last podcast, I got rather drunk, as I normally do. I'm not this time, because last time we decided to watch a movie afterwards, but I just kept drinking in it. And
God.
Well, I was chatting some shit. It was terrible. I was in a state. But that's not important. More importantly, Judd, we watched the movie Tideland. Well, I say we watched the movie. We got as far as Judd could stomach in the movie Tideland. If you don't know what this movie is, maybe look it up. I don't know if we'd suggest watching it, because
I fucking don't suggest watching it.
But yeah, that's what we watched. What's your thoughts on this movie?
God, it was fucking terrible. I mean, the thing is. It was just, I don't know. I can see why you put it as a question mark on your spreadsheet. I get that.
Yeah.
But the main reason why I'm going to be putting it as a 5 out of
Well, you said a 1 when you stormed off saying I'm not watching anymore. Give it a 1, and then you hung up. So I put it down as a 1 for you.
Okay,
out of 100. Bear in mind.
Yeah, I was just going to say this is out of 100, by the way, not out of 5. This is out of 100. Because, and the main reason is because there's a scene. Well, I'll say a single scene. I think there was probably multiple scenes.
It's not.
Yeah, of essentially of this. How old did we say she was? Was she 10 or 11?
What, in the show, in the movie, or the actress?
The actress. The actress.
Tideland cast. It came out in 2005. The lead person is currently 26, so that's what, 16 years ago? She'd have been. She turned 10 on set. I remember looking this up when I first watched it.
She turned 10 on set, and there's now multiple scenes. I only managed to stomach the first one before I fucking couldn't watch anymore. Where she kisses like a 20-something-year-old man, maybe late 20s, something like that.
Can we have the mic close to your face? Sorry.
She kisses him on the lips.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
for what reason? I'm not really sure. I don't really know how that advanced the plot anymore. In fact, I don't even know if there was a plot in that fucking movie.
Not really, but kind of.
The fact that a 10-year-old girl was kissing a 20-something-year-old man on my screen was not good.
It's awful. And that's the thing. That's the reason it's a question mark for me on the spreadsheet. Yeah. It's either horrible or brilliant. In that, I think it's meant to be like a kind of like a horror movie, but like a different type of horror. You know?
I don't think it is. I think it's just some.
I think it is.
Some moron was just trying to be like pretentious and thought that it was like, oh, this is going to be like mind-boggling, and I'm going to be like, they're going to put me down as the next Tim Burton. And really, all it just came off as was that it was just a bit of a weird nonce.
Yeah, it's like a horror fantasy drama type of movie. And I think if it's trying to be a horror, that almost makes me think it's brilliant, because you don't see horrors do things like in that genre of horror, you know? It was very real and horrible and to watch, and I've never repulsed more.
Terry
when
Gilliam.
I was first watching it, Terry Gilliam, I think it is.
Gilliam, you're a nonce. You are a paedophile.
I don't think it's just him. I think it's based on a book, actually. But that's what got me is, did no one on set think, you know what? I think this might be a bit far. Did the kid's mother not think that, maybe, or like anything?
I don't know. I'm posting a picture of him. He looks like he's on the fucking Epstein flight list. Look at him. That's a paedophile. That's a paedophile.
What, you mean the director?
That man's a paedophile, yes.
This director, hold on.
Wait, hold on.
There he is. I put it on screen.
Gilliam, whatever his name is, Terry Gilliam calls Black Panther utter bullshit.
Oh God!
Claims crew never went to Africa.
Well, yeah, fine, okay.
Maybe.
Anyway, but that's, do you see why it's a question mark? Because I've never been more like repulsed and like just shook up in horror at watching a movie than watching that film. So isn't that what a horror's supposed to do? Hasn't it achieved its goal as brilliantly as anything ever has?
Hold on, wait a second.
Not?
This guy's a member of Monty Python.
Is he?
Yeah.
I thought I recognised his name.
Yeah, he's a member of Monty Python. He's a nonce. I'm convinced he's a paedophile.
He was a writer on the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Oh my god!
That's one of our like memorable worst films ever. That's what he's known for. What the hell, mate? He needs to be looked at. He really needs to be looked at. He needs to be
shot in the fucking street. That's what
he was a writer as well. Yeah, it seems like it's kind of his deal. Fucking hell. Yeah, someone needs to investigate that dude. But yeah, that's kind of. There's more, by the way. And I think at that point, was the dad dead, but still like just in makeup?
Dead. Yeah. They were both for a long time. He'd been dead.
The kind of woman, the woman who's in it.
Yeah.
She apparently has been obsessed with the girl's dad ever since. Sorry, this is spoilers and weird to talk about at the start of podcast, but I promise there's better shit coming up. If you haven't seen the movie, then I don't know. Maybe watch it. I don't even know if I should recommend it, like I said. But all right, so apparently she's been obsessed with that guy, and when she discovers that it was him and his daughter, she embalms him.
Yeah, and she embalmed him.
Oh, did we see this bit?
Yeah, we saw this bit. Yeah.
I don't really remember. I was really drunk.
No, we saw this bit.
But it turns out later on that she's embalmed her mother, and it's just like the mother's corpse, like all weird and shit in her house. And they like start trying to kiss in her mother's bedroom. Them two, the bloke and that child, and then they get walked in on, and somehow her mother's head accidentally gets caved in. She's already dead, but like I don't know, it's gross, isn't it? It's just gross. It's repulsive.
It's just a fucking disgusting, repulsive shit, and it's shit. It's shit as well. It's just shit because like. Even the first human centipede. Not that I hope you can't hear that. I'm sorry if you can. The first human centipede, not the second one. the first one was still like, this is fucked and this is kind of repulsive, but
Yeah.
you know, at least something here. There's some substance here. There's something here. That it was just shit. It was just nonsense. It was just fucking noise. It was the imitation of a movie. It's like, you know, if Aliens came down and they had a quick look at some movies, they went, all right, okay, we're gonna do one of these. That's what you'd see. That's what you'd see on your screen because it's just fucking nonsense. Hate that fucking movie. One.
Fine. Yeah, no, I think the thing is, I kind of see the reasoning behind it. Like, it kind of lulled. I didn't think anything like that would happen, you know? And if it did, it'd at least be implied. But, like, because that's the thing. If it was only implied, it might be, like, kind of all right. It wouldn't have been as disgusting. You know, if, like, they'd have got close and then it cut to, like, you saw their shadows kiss, but then they could have obviously faked it with like a doll or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's still like, oh god, what?
Yeah,
but you know, that didn't happen.
The repulsiveness behind it isn't that it's happening in a film. The repulsiveness behind it is the fact that an adult actor had to kiss like an actual child.
Yeah.
You know? That's the thing. It's the real world implications of it that's really gross about it.
Yeah, that's what's fucked. That's what's fucked because like I've seen movies. I watched I think it was like a French film ages ago and it was kind of like a gore flick, but essentially what happened in it is this guy, he's this dad, his little girl was raped. And he like essentially what he does is he breaks the child rapist, the guy who raped his daughter, out of prison so that he can torture him. But the thing is, like, you know, that's the premise in the movie. That didn't actually happen. Like a little girl wasn't.
Yeah, they didn't actually have to do it for.
Yeah, they didn't actually do anything.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in this, an actual real life adult man kissed an actual real life 10-year-old girl on the lips.
Yeah, look, it's the first and only movie or TV or anything I've ever seen anything actually happen like that. There's implied worse stuff in other movies, isn't there? Like, there's implied or like faked stuff that's even worse in other movies. But just knowing that couldn't have been faked, or if it was, that's some fucking insane CGI.
There's no way that
it was 2005.
No way, no.
So anyway, moving on from disgusting horrible movie, let's take a look at this freaking survey from our dad. There's some good questions on here, and I'm genuinely like giddy about it. And, it's just like stupid stuff, but you know, I did it on a Google form, and you can set like criteria on the questions. So I made it so every question had to be answered for him to submit it. And some of them are ones that like parents normally would go, oh no, I can't answer that, you know? So
Dad answered him. Dad will answer them.
He had to. There's no way. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that had stopped me sharing the screen on this. I'm gonna read them out rather than show the screen because it don't make a difference, and just in case. So first ones is what's Dad's favourite memory of each of us is. So his favourite memory of me says lots of them, gigs, cinema, holiday, and then for you he says same stuff but like shows and shooting. So I'm guessing even though he enjoyed going to pantomimes and shows with both of us, he enjoyed it with you more.
No. I think what he was saying is because like get your gigs, like your music performance, and my like acting.
When you did, yeah. Okay,
but what I'm hearing there is that all your good memories are in the past. I'm still making good memories with him.
Well, only half of them. We can still go to the cinema now. Yeah. I guess. Weird that he hasn't put Carvery on either of these, because our dad fucking loves a Carvery.
He loves a good Carvery.
So
as well,
apparently his worst memory of me is my teenage tantrum years. Fair enough. They're my worst memory of me.
I don't think you have ever had tantrums. It was more like
it's dad thinks of them as tantrums.
You were just an annoying cunt. You didn't have tantrums, but you weren't annoying.
What do you mean? What do you mean in my teenage years? That ain't changed.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he's not had as much bad memories of you because on yours it says, "What's your worst memory of Judd?" And his only response was, "Who?" which tells you a lot about the kind of game. That's literally it. He just put "who?" And to be fair, I do think that he struggled to figure out how to even do this. Like when he was in his 40s, he might have been all right with this, but now he's in his kind of mid-late 50s. He's gone down. It's gone. And I sent him a link, right? He just has to click on the link, and then the form's right there. He can do it on a phone, a computer, a tablet, a Mac, PC, anything. And he just has to fill them in and then just hit submit at the end. And I think he still struggled with that. So I had to remind him again earlier today, and I think he's had to fill it in quick while he's at work. So anyway, what is Jake's best quality? He's the best computer technician I've met this week. Which is quite weird because I've not met him this week. I've not seen him this week at all. So
well, then clearly he's not met any of us this week. So you've just been
fantastic. And Judd's, I don't know. You can tell that we're not getting any serious answers out of him at all. Well, I suppose maybe the first ones were.
I didn't really expect to get many, so.
No, I kind of thought it would be weird. Good? Bad? I don't know. Judd's best quality then. He tried to give you an actual compliment for a start, but then had to just double take and make it an insult just to make sure. He says that you're laid back, and then he says he wouldn't even know what day of the week it is. So yeah, he wants to give you a laid back compliment, and then we're like, but he is a fucking idiot.
To be fair, I only know that it's Wednesday because we're doing a podcast. So
my dudes, do you like that one? It's Wednesday, my dudes.
I didn't like that one.
Neither did I.
Nope.
What is Jake's worst quality? This is a weird one. Bear in mind, whenever Judd needs an outfit for going out, he asks me to come with him and dress him, basically. And I've literally been getting into fashion and things like that. And our dad has chosen to say that my worst quality is my dress sense.
Well, I kind of get that, to be fair, because you're good at picking out my fashion, but you never seem to be very fashionable yourself.
No, I think I am for how I want to look. I like what I dress in. I think for the circles that I would be in, the only circles like you and Dad, to be fair, but the type of stuff I'm into, that type of fashion would go down really well, if that makes sense. So if I went to a pop punk concert, or fucking, I don't know, fucking E-boys or something, streamer boys playing a video game or something, or fucking someone who people like TGF, maybe, people who do stupid shit want to get pissed. That I think it'd go down fairly well there. Not that we'd discuss who's got the best fashion in that sense, but I think it's just that Dad likes to dress. He's old, isn't he? He dresses kind of I wouldn't necessarily say an old man, although he's head in there, but he dresses more for his era.
He dresses very smart. I think me and Dad have got very similar dress senses. I like dressing how Dad dresses.
You do, but you like your scruffy, grungy edge on it. It's
weird. It's almost kind of like Butcher from the Boys, where it's what he's got going on is pretty nice, but. Yeah.
But he's probably got a broken nose and some blood on his outfit somewhere.
That nice shirt that he's got on, it's probably got some blood on it, and
Judd's worst quality. He's not even tried to joke with this, so he just put reliability.
Unreliable. Now I used to not be reliable at all. I'm more.
He can't fucking talk. You're about the same now. You're about the same.
Yeah.
So
now that I've gotten older, it's actually reliability is something that I take quite seriously. But when I was younger,
great to take. But
no, there's still been times there was one with Dad actually recently where we were supposed to go shooting, and essentially I told him last minute, like on the morning that was supposed to go shooting, that I couldn't go shooting because I was really badly hungover. Instead of telling him the day before I was going out drinking, and it fucked him a bit because he actually, it wasn't a week that we usually go shooting. We usually do it every other week,
right?
But we decided to go shooting. We decided to go shooting at this place, and he was supposed to be like doing something at the yoga studio with Natalie, and like painting it or doing something, and he'd said no to Nat so that we could go shooting. And it would have been fine, like me just saying that on the morning, like he would just gone, oh well, I'll just go do that painting then. But what he'd done is he'd said to like one of the guys that we know from his regular shoot, oh, we're going shooting on this Saturday, it's just kind of talking to it. And then this guy was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And it was like, oh, and my dad was like, oh, do you want to come? Like, it's a courtesy thing. And this guy was like, oh yeah, I'll come with you. So he expected to be me, him, and this guy.
Yeah.
But instead, what ended up being was him and this guy, and he didn't necessarily want to go, but he was forced to go because he said yes to this guy.
So you'd accidentally set up a date for our dad with this guy.
Yeah. So it was dad and this guy, and it's just like, fuck, I don't even really want to be here, to be honest. So
you do shit like that, though. Yeah. You do.
Yeah.
Like, you still do that. You've got better. Yeah. You used to do that, like, most of the time. Like, it'd be 60% of the time that'd be what would happen. Now it's more like 20% maybe.
20. Like I do it sometimes. Like I try not to, because again, now that I've grown up, it's reliability is a big thing for me. Like if people can't make it to stuff that I've been trying to set up, or especially through work, it's like I need people to be reliable for me at work, or everything just goes fucking wrong for like the whole day. So
it makes me think of the one time my reliability didn't really hold up with Dad. And you weren't there, because I think, I can't remember what had happened. I think you'd already gone home. I think your mum had picked you up from Dad's. This is when I'd have been about 14 or something. Jesus, 10 years ago. Fuck me. And it was, do you remember when he was borrowing that supercar from this woman he must have been fucking, who he called his mate, who it was always a woman he was fucking at the time. We didn't know that back then. We were like weirdly naive, especially for teenagers. But like, he borrowed an Audi R8, like, and it was a V10 one, and it was a fast fucker, that car. It was really nice, and I'd really pissed him off. It was one of the teenage tantrum years. I'd really annoyed him, and so it brought me home in this R8, in like complete silence, or we'd like talked awkwardly, and I got back, and there were no one in. And I'd forgot my fucking keys at his house.
Oh no!
And when I realised, I was like, my heart sank.
We like, I don't tell him.
Because I had to say to him, I've forgotten my keys. And I remember him going, you're joking, aren't you? And I went, I'm not, I really am sorry. And we drove all the way back quite fast. And all the way back to my house in silence, because I was like, fuck. And it's not like, it weren't like that's nowadays awful. Where like, now I'd just look on my phone in awkwardness. And I don't know why, but we didn't have any music on or anything. I mean, that's the thing with Dad. When he's pissed off, he don't want music on. He don't put it on, so it makes it even more awkward. So and back then, you couldn't just look at your phone or anything like that. I guess some people, a fair amount of people would, but we wouldn't have. We wouldn't have had a phone nice enough to even go on internet without Wi-Fi or anything like that. So I did not get a phone that had like 3G data on it properly until I was like 19, to be honest. Yeah, I would have got one probably a year later than that, but like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that reminds me of that at least. But I know. This like a really funny meme that reminded me of like a funny meme where it's like this mum's just like really pissed off at her kids because it's been taking forever to like get ready for school on a morning, and like she's having to drive them there herself and get in the bus, and it's like 9 o'clock and they're supposed to start at 8, and one of the kids in the back of the car just starts going like like that, and she's like, why are you crying? And then he's like, Mom, I forgot my backpack, I'm sorry.
and she like pulls up to the side and like pulls him out the car to start beating him.
Yeah. We've had a couple moments like that. That's the only funny one though. The other ones are just not really interesting.
What about I was so unreliable that I got to put my shoes on?
Oh, I'm sure we've definitely told that before.
We've told that one like loads of times. I just thought fuck it and didn't put my shoes on when we went to the cinema one time.
Right, next we've got, what movie character am I most like? And he says, Harry Dunn from Dumb and Dumber. Can you guess who he said movie character you're most like?
The other one from Dumb and Dumber.
Exactly, yeah. I want to know who's who. I hope I'm Jim Carrey.
No, actually, I'm Jim Carrey. You're I'm posting him. You're that, you're that
one
one
from Dumb and Dumber. It's about right. Right. Here's one I really wanted the answer to. This is the whole question, right? Do you remember that one time that Jake had a Game Boy with Pokemon on it, and you let Judge start a new game on it, and it deleted all Jake's progress and scarred him for life? I really wanted to know if you could remember that, because we've talked about it a lot of times. I still not fucking let that go. If Jude ever like tries to say like how bad I am to him in any way, I just bring that up. He's like, yeah, I think that's. I think you're right.
You know, I once, you know, like all like Tom and you know, like all that sort of friends group.
Yeah.
Who I'm like in another Discord server with. I brought that up to him once, and I'm pretty sure one of them went to me, "You are a fucking monster."
Yeah, you fucking are.
I didn't know. I thought I'd just start a new slot. I wouldn't have known.
His only answer was, "I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning," which does check out actually.
That checks.
It's really funny because I've noticed when I first sent him the link to this. He saw it. I think he saw it, but didn't realise. And then a day or two later, because I sent him it with plenty of notice, knowing that he'd fucking struggle because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Like a couple of days later, he called me to ask me what I'd sent it to him on, because he couldn't. Somehow, I don't know why. Maybe he couldn't figure out how to check. Maybe he couldn't figure out to look on text message, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp. I don't know. He had to call me. But every time he does anything or interacts with anyone or anything, his girlfriend Natalie has to be there now. It's really like she's his carer, because he can't remember anything. and he don't get stuff. You know, we had him on the podcast once, and we used to do this bit where we would read out WikiHow articles on how to do something, but take them far too literally and kind of come up with like stupid guides on how to do something.
Yeah, so we just end up with like these weird scenarios because we just like read way too in depth into.
And and we did How to Be a Good Father with him. And he didn't get what was happening at all.
He just didn't. His eyes glazed over. It's just like, oh yeah.
you might not understand what we're even on about from just the description, but I think you'd get it if you saw what we were doing on the podcast. You know, if you were listening to the podcast. But he was literally participating in the podcast, and he was like, "What?"
Yeah, he was like, it's like, what? Natalie got it.
His girlfriend got it, and she was just laughing at him for being an idiot. But what I found funny about that was as well, we asked him to be on the podcast, and she was just there the whole time as well. We didn't ask her to be on. No, it was fine. I didn't mind at all.
No, we didn't mind it being on. But it's almost like she had to be on the podcast with him because he didn't fucking know. He don't know what planet he's on.
Exactly.
I know him for I know him for two things, and that's fucking eating carveries and building conservatories. I don't know if he can do anything else.
I don't even know if he's any good at that. But anyway, next one we've got: who would win in a 3-way fight between me, you, and Dad? And he's picked the wrong answer. He's picked himself. We know now that we do a bit of boxing. We'd take him.
We've had like 4 sessions of boxing.
Not with a professional, just with each other.
No, just each other.
Oh dear. And last session was potentially the worst one. We were both fucking exhausted. We couldn't throw a punch.
I'd just thrown up before it as well. Like I said to Jake as I got in the car, I was like, I've had a 20-minute nap and I've just thrown up, so I'm raring.
And I've not slept in days, including now. I'm surprised I'm even managing this. So yeah, but even having said that, he's old, so yeah. Right, this was the best question. I've actually made profit from this because one of the questions was, can I have £20? And the only two options were yes and yes. So there we go. Nice money maker for me right there. Next, we've got how cool is Jake out of 10? I got a 3. I'll fucking take it from Dad, you know? I think that's a fucking compliment.
Did you also then put how cool is Jordan?
Yes, I did.
Okay, what did you give me?
Also a 3.
That's lie.
Some bullshit.
Listen, I feel like I'm gonna get in the car with him on Sunday to go shooting, and it's gonna look over him and go, "Hey, you're a 7."
even I will agree that that's some bullshit. Right, next we've got how annoying is Jake out of 10? Quite a solid 10. Not surprised there. And how annoying is Judd? Pretty solid 10. Here's the question.
He's having to be very equal with us into seeing us out. Yeah.
I could have put Y under these, and I thought about it, but I kind of didn't want to, because I almost wanted it to maybe prompt him into a serious answer to see what it actually thinks, because I thought that'd be interesting, but obviously that ain't gonna happen. Next one that you contributed to asking was I just put, were either Jake or Judd an accident? And his response was both.
Well, see, the thing is, he could on that one. He could in equal parts be like having a laugh, or that could actually be true.
Yeah, so we'll actually never know.
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all if either of us were accidents. I wouldn't be upset with it. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be upset. Oh, wasn't planned. I
would be a little bit pissed off because I'd rather have never been born. So
yeah. So you're right. You're rather that you were done like with some sort of intention instead of just like it happening by fucking mistake.
Yeah, I'd rather him just be careful and never have had me. No, we'll never actually know. But I actually, if I'm being realistic, I'm inclined to believe it because I think my mum got pregnant. I think they might have had me before they even got married. And they got married not long after that. And was that the case with you as well?
I feel like that's the same thing that happened with me. I think God, I'm pretty sure it was my great granddad who said something like he was like, you'll have to marry her because I'm not having my great grandson being a bastard.
Because he ended up being anyway.
Yeah, he was quite religious. So it was like you have to marry her. You have to marry her because I'm not having him being a bastard. And it was like, all right, okay.
Well, there you go. But the thing I don't get about that is like, how do people have these accidents? Like I've done sexual relations with females, not a crazy amount of different females, but a fair amount of times.
I just shoot it in the butt. That's what I do.
But the thing is, like, I find it really hard to believe that even if you're not using protection, that you can't just not go and finish up someone. Like it's just quite easy not to. Unless I'm the freak, I don't know. But I find it incredibly easy not to just
don't shoot your goo.
Someone,
Yeah, just don't shoot your goo.
Yeah, anyway, moving on. This is my favourite one. This is the one I'm most excited for. Right?
Go on, then.
I didn't give him a chance to back out or funny this one. We've got, which is your favourite child? Me and you are the only options. And he has to answer every question. Are you ready?
Pick one. Yeah.
Do you want to make a prediction first?
I just want to know.
My prediction is it's you. I genuinely have always thought. I genuinely think. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's Kiss Me! Let's go, everyone!
No, that's
Victory
bullshit.
music.
You're
Here we
bullshit.
go.
No, that's bullshit.
Oh, wait, the
That's
wrong tune.
bull-
Here we go. Oh, wait, this one. Is it this one? No, wait. No.
You
There's
get
the
it.
victory music edit. There it is. Hey, let's
You
go.
put you.
Favorite child, baby. Let's
Son of
go.
a bitch.
Do you need a
Son
screenshot?
of
Do you want me
a
to
bitch.
prove it?
I do actually want a screenshot. I want proof of this. I want hard physical evidence.
I'll
of this.
send you a quick screenshot of that, Judd. Nice. Do you reckon he's thing is you'll be going shooting with him or something? and
I'm
you'll
gonna
be
I'll tell you what,
"Hey, son of a
I'm gonna turn the fucking gun on him. That's what I'm gonna do.
Do you think he picked me because I would be seeing the survey?
Maybe. I don't know.
You're genuinely pissed off, aren't you?
I'm not. I don't actually.
I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah, it's all I ever wanted in life. There you go.
Is that gonna sort out all your issues now then? Because you've got your father's approval.
Is it gonna? It might fix my mental
son of a
breakdown.
bitch.
Nice. Oh dear. Right then, that's that. That was fun. Have you got anything? Any other interesting news, Judd? I feel like we should end on a high note there. We're nowhere near the full podcast length, but like, no. What have you been up to? You been up to anything? While I try and think of something to debate about.
No, I got a little bit of a funny story of when I was at work.
Go for it.
So you know how I naturally attract like the lost and the damned and the
Yeah.
freaks, and so I was we have like 2 sites in Leeds that we're working on at the moment, and I and like another guy, a kid that I work with, sort of like bouncing back and forth occasionally to this other site, just if there's any little bits that need doing. And we were walking down from this site to the other one, and as we were walking back, we saw we saw this guy, like he had like really long dreadlocks, and he was wearing like some sort of like red jumper, and he was walking, he was like doing like a very sort of like just like I want not comical. I mean, it was comical to me, but I think to him he thought it was like being sort of like hard man, this walk that we were doing.
Yeah.
And it's I've got a really weird thing. You'll probably not remember this, but there's an episode of SpongeBob where he's like walking along and he's doing like this weird sort of like stupid walk where he's like throwing his hands in front of himself.
No,
and,
I
like,
do know the one because it's a meme.
Yeah. It like, you know, that what it was like he was doing that walk, and I like sort of clocked him as we were walking down. And I sort of just I said to this guy I was walking over, I was like, "What do you make of this thing that's coming towards us?" And it, you know, he sort of just like he was like on his phone. And he looked at me and he went, "Oh fucking hell, here we go." And anyway, as he got closer, we could hear him. He were like shouting something or saying something, and it was coming when he got closer. I heard him make out. What I made out was, I'm a juggalo, and as a juggalo, I want my shit. And then he walked past, and I just immediately like had to prop myself up against something. I was like laughing so hard that like I was crying.
That's only happens to you. Like that's.
It's so weird. I'm a juggalo.
Oh dear.
Another funny thing was like we saw his boss like a bit further down, and I said to him, I was like, "Did you fucking see that guy with the dreadlocks?" And he was like, it was like, "Yeah." When he went past me, he had like some music playing, and he was like going, "Yeah, motherfucker, yeah."
Oh my god! See, this is too common with you though.
Yeah.
Like it happens all the time that you just like end up bumping into like
the sort of freaks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's insane. What?
It's really weird. Yeah.
You could probably like every time I like talk to you again, I should probably start with that. You know, there's quite a regular running joke I have with you of going, "So you seen any movies, playing any games lately?" Yeah. But I should probably start asking that. Like, what freaks you encountered lately? Right.
Yeah, Yeah, I do think that could be a regular segment on the podcast, like Jordan's freak of the week. That's what we should call it.
Freak of the week. That'd be great. Oh no, am I gonna have to make another jingle? No, I think we're good. I think we're good for freak of the week. And maybe you can introduce it as that when you've got another story like that to tell.
I'll find one because I always find one. I at least there's at least one a week where I just find like some sort of human that's obviously something's happened in their life where it's just not gone right. Like they've become a creature, and I attract them. They seem drawn to me. I'm some sort of nexus of degeneracy.
Right, Judd. Here we go. I think I'm setting myself up for a difficult one here. The jingle for this segment was made by Judd with his mouth, and then I adapted it into an actual thingy. Here we go. It's Why You Are Wrong!
That's it. I heard it. I actually heard it that time because I could hear it coming through you.
Nice. Yeah. Right, if you don't know what happens in this segment, the software we use to record this podcast freezes, so then we're unsure if it's actually recording or not. That's what happens firstly. But also, the actual segment is, I present Judd with a topic. Ones we've done before are what is the best decade of all time, and what's the best item on the McDonald's menu. Judd lets us know his opinion on this and says why, and then I essentially explain to him why he's wrong and try and convince him.
And stupid and fat and a big, disgusting, ugly. Yeah.
So here we go. Right, today's topic. It's a difficult one because I feel like there is a genuine, true answer, or at least one I believe in the most, but obviously, if you pick that answer, I have to argue one that I don't necessarily believe in as much. Today's topic, Judd, it is, what is the greatest villain of all time? Whether it can't be a real-life villain. I'm talking movies, video games, TV, books. Although picks a fucking book, am I right? Maybe comic books, if you want to do that. What do you think?
I guess I've already got someone in mind, and it's Mr. the Clown. It's Mr. the Joker, and I feel like such a fucking gay for saying the Joker when I think of it, but my honest actual reason for why it's the Joker, and it's not he's an agent of chaos. I'm a dog chasing cars. It's not that. It's I just feel like there's so many sort of like ways you can take that character, and there's so many ways that character has been taken. Like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and Heath Ledger's Joker are two very entirely different Jokers. But both of them are fucking incredible. They're both like amazing characters to study. I've read a lot of the comics. I love the whole fucking dynamic between Batman and Joker, and where it's a relationship, and Joker can't really function properly without the Batman. It's best sort of explored in the Dark Knight Rising comic books and the animated Dark Knight movie. But it's awesome every time. Well, I say every time you see him, there's been some versions for him where he's not been quite so banging, you know.
Banging.
Gross. You know, well, sometimes you want to fuck him. In some adaptations, you do want to fuck the Joker. But yeah, I genuinely do think it is the Joker. Like whenever. I see that he's going to be in anything, like if it's in any of the games or any of the movies or any of the animated series or something. And I also like it. I also like it a lot when you're not really expecting him, like it might be a TV series or something, and he like shows up as a little cameo or something, and you go, "Oh my god, it's the Clown!" But yeah, I think it is the Joker. I do really think it's the Joker.
Well, that's not the one that I wanted to pick at all.
Oh, okay.
Am I right, folks?
Oh, okay.
1 sec. I'm just scrolling through lists
sorry,
on the internet.
sorry, sorry. Should I say?
Just why
so
can't you
loud.
just pick like fucking, I don't know, like penguin or some shit? I don't know. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it, because the thing is that I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, even though you're wrong. The Joker's iterations and things like that, his variability is great. You know, those characters were great. You know, the Joker movie and Heath Ledger's Joker. You know what else was good in a sea of versions? That one episode of Rick and Morty, where he turns himself into a pickle. See, the thing is, that's what the Joker's done, you know? That's what we've got with the Joker now. He's got, like, he's become kind of this... he's gone to a meme level of cringe, where you can't... Literally, even the Joaquin Phoenix movie, he's not managed to escape that vortex.
No,
as kind of prestigious and serious as it is.
It's
you get these freaks who, like, genuinely, like, over this shit, you know?
Yeah,
and it means every time you see the Joker on screen, you can't not think of that. And I do.
I'll be honest with you. You are right. It has definitely sullied it. I remember when I went to go see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and it's the scene where he's on the Murray Franklin show, and he specifically says, "What do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society?" And the second he said society, me and Tom both audibly in the cinema went and it's really intense
because of the meme.
But we both did it.
So that's that. Also, it is the fact that the Joker has such an interplay with Batman.
Yeah,
it's his villainness doesn't stand out on its own. The best part of the Joker is the dichotomy between the two. He might be able to have good villain on his own, like in the Joker, but you know he's not living up to his heights. It's like that's
when he's playing off of Batman.
You always like the way you can appreciate him on his own is by knowing his kind of relevance to that universe, including Batman and that. So that's why Joker's not the best. Here is who is the best. Here's what we're looking for based on that, then. It needs to be someone who's not overplayed, not allowing... but is serious and not cringed out. Timeless. Still. Here's what I present to you is Hannibal Lecter from the Silence of the Lambs. So the reason why he is the best is because he doesn't have that cringe nature, because he's not kind of got something too goofy, but and his interest comes from something really like deep and actually kind of intriguing, rather than kind of almost a gimmick that you can take in interesting ways. There's a difference there. Rather than it being a gimmick that's made interesting, he's actually got deep depth and character. The extra bit of it is that, and he's not too typical as well. He's not like, he's almost leveling on an anti-hero. Plays into a movie where there's another villain that's a bit more obvious, which makes him stand out even more as being a more interesting, depthful character. And the thing is, all of this while maintaining more menace than the Joker ever has. Like, you can really get a sense of the fact that people can't be near this guy, you know? Somehow, even though he looks how he is, he's gonna fuck you up. And he don't just want to murder, he's gonna eat you. There's an extra level of sinister while maintaining a cool... These are all really cool, kind of like, he almost fits into a horror film, you know? And that's what you need out of a villain.
I'd say it's almost like a psychological horror, Silence of the Lambs. It's more of a thriller, really, but...
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. But there you go.
And he's not even the main... Well, really, he's not supposed to be the main villain in Silence of the Lambs, is he? Buffalo Bill.
No, I suppose he isn't the main villain, but he is a villain. And only just. And that's the thing. That's a great sweet spot to be in. everyone knows the Joker's a villain,
Yeah.
which is fine as well. But come on, we're talking big boy shit here, you know. We're talking like real shit. How'd I do, Judd? Are
I
you
still
convinced?
think it's no. I still think it's the Joker.
Fuck. So do I.
and yeah, he's so adaptable, isn't he? Like that's the thing. Is that he never gets tired of seeing him because each new actor brings something new to that character.
Even the best characters you can fuck up. By the way, I was gonna potentially pick Thanos and try and ride on the whole thing of it. He's been in the most successful franchise. He's made the most successful movie. People obviously love him. But then I wouldn't have got my meme end of things, you know, because he's probably been memed more than the Joker at this point. But it's for me. You can get even the best characters wrong, as they do sometimes. And for me, but it doesn't kind of. It don't tend to detract from the Joker, and this is why comic book characters are so good, because you can very easily separate the universes out. You can, just because people don't like Jared Leto's Joker, don't mean that they can't like Joaquin Phoenix's. They don't have to be the same character, like almost at all. I suppose in a tiny way they are, but the thing I love about the Joker is almost the kind of what I thought I wouldn't like about the Joker movie, in that I like that he's kind of obviously very real and very like, because if he was like a god like Loki, this is why he's essentially Loki but better, then it'd be like just too disconnected from realism. But the fact that he is technically just a guy who manages to get away with a lot of this, sorry, I've just made a lot of money, people don't really know where he came from. You know, like he's kind of an agent of chaos that's come out of nowhere, and kind of an embodiment of chaos is realistic and real and here, and you're not going to be able to predict it. You don't even know where it's going to start potentially. You know, so he's such an interesting character in that aspect, which is why I kind of didn't. I suppose that's one of the tiny caveats I have about the Joker movie. Having said that, you don't actually know who both his parents are. And kind of his upbringing, you know? Well,
and also it kind of, right at the end, it's just like, oh, but, you know, because it was a very, like, it sets him up as an unreliable narrator, doesn't it? So it's like, or that could have just, you know, maybe he's not the Joker, maybe
none of that happened. And I have to say, don't like that. you know, I don't like that in movies. Like, I know, but maybe he just didn't know any of that.
I also don't like that, but I feel like the Joker is the only character where that can work, because it's like that's the whole thing. Is that you don't know, and the real scary thing about Joaquin Phoenix's Joker as well is that he can just sort of be your neighbor. He can just be like a guy. He can just be anyone really. And it's explored more in The Killing Joke, where his whole thing, what he's trying to show in that is that really it's just a man that's been just pushed far enough. So that's why I like him. Who the fuck is messaging me? Don't they know it's? Don't they know it's fucking podcast day?
That's me. Like, they'll generally act like that. But yeah, there we go. That's been a podcast. I think it's been a good one. It's not been the very longest one, but well, we've done 53 minutes, nearly 54 minutes. So
okay,
there you go. We talked about the most disgusting movie we've ever seen. We found out who our dad's favourite child is. Winner, once again. Look at that. Yes, we asked him a bunch of questions. That was fun. I liked that. I like doing more interesting kind of, you know, purposeful shit like that. And I unfortunately failed. Probably once again. It's quite hard to just convince someone they're wrong, even when they're pretty sure they're right. But it's fun nonetheless. There we go. That's the podcast. Yes. Anything else to add, Judd?
No, that's it. I'm not going to say anything horrible this time.
So strangle your dogs. No, God damn it! No, don't.